Hi, and welcome to another edition of OnSide SA, where Budgie is still gallivanting overseas. He's gone to watch Galatasaray beat Man United. He was at the game, so his mood must be bad. But with me today, Gavin Radford. Gav, good to have you here.
Morning, Paul. Nice trip for Budge, but it's turning out to a nightmare.
Yeah, he's watched a good side to lose. Yeah. Right, we always start our show with the last one standing. Then we're going over to our international pundit, Stevie B. But just to give you some stats, Gav, going through them, 184 of the 249 entries went through. So not bad. The teams that took them through, Newcastle, West Ham, Arsenal and Chelsea. Teams that went out, 42 went out in Brentford, 13 on Man United, 9 on Man City and 1 on Nottingham Forest. 18 ladies went through. Now, I want to tell you, Gav, I met one of the ladies, Laura Delcho, and I think I've got a photo of her. We met her. Here's Laura. If we can make it a bit bigger, it'll be great. But she had a go at me, Gav. She said to me, "You're a Spurs supporter." And I said, "Yeah, I'm a Spurs supporter." She said, "She'll buy me a feather duster for our trophy cabinet." She supports United. So just to let you know, Laura went out. I stayed in. But thanks, Laura. Thanks very much. It was wonderful meeting you, and we'll see you in the next competition.
The karma.
Yeah, the karma. The feather duster queen. Thanks very much. Of the internationals, 18 came through, Gav. The guys overseas are still hanging in.
I think it's getting tough for them now, Paul, because the 8 weeks have bypassed. Yeah. The guys have used all the big clubs. Yeah, now they're going to start digging into the rats and mice. I think the Evertons, the Brentfords, the Lutons are going to come out. They're coming this week.
Luton are playing Spurs.
That's a big weekend.
And so there's more ladies in than international players at the moment. The pick of the round, Gav, 3 people won Chelsea. Chelsea have struggled.
Chelsea have struggled, but they've seemed to have turned the corner a little bit in their play. They seem to be finding a little bit more formation to the game. I think they can go on a bit of a run now, Chelsea.
Okay, that's them. And then the 3, I must mention them, John Apprentice, Hassan Mal and Jared Werners. Well done, the Chelsea gang. Performance of the round, Hassan Mal. 4 different winning teams. Well played. The tote favourite to win it, my mate Enzo Coppola. He will be pleased. Don't forget, closing time for this week is Saturday, 12 SA time. You get that? And if you don't phone in, guys, get it right. We're chasing people a lot, especially Budgie. If you don't phone in time, you will be given a team that you haven't picked that's the highest up the log. Straightforward. So stick with that. Get your own bets in so no one can blame you. Right. That was last one standing. Don't forget, this week we're in again. Let's see if our man Stevie B's on the line. Steve, you're in town?
I'm here. I'm in the house. How are you, buddy?
Morning. I got Gavin in with me.
Hi, Gav.
All right. Let's have a look here. Firstly, I want to just talk to you about Champions League, if you don't mind. Just run through some of those results, especially ones that jump out at you. The 2 sides losing on the same day, Man United, Galatasaray. Did you get to watch that?
Yeah, I've watched quite a bit. Very disappointing results for both of them. I think with Arsenal taking the lead, United taking the lead, I think both of them to end up losing in matches where they probably didn't expect to. So I think United have now got a fairly hard task. They're going to have to get a result against form to go to, I think, to hang in there.
Yeah, and Stevie, Arsenal, Saka injured, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know sort of how serious the injury is. We'll find out when Arteta does his pre-weekend sort of press thing. But hopefully for them, it's not too serious. And obviously England are coming up playing soon, so important that he's back. But it was a disappointing result for Arsenal, but I think they're still odds-on favourites to go through in that group.
All right, and last night's results, obviously the big one being the Geordies.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, they had a real go at them. When I think I looked at the stats, I think PSG had about 70% possession, but actually they didn't do anywhere near enough with it. And Newcastle just, were desperate, were really hungry for it. Played well as a team, and as we know with PSG, they have a lot of incredible individual players, but they don't have the same sort of team spirit, I think, as Newcastle. And in the end, 4-1 was a tremendous result for them.
Steve, we're just looking at a photo on the screen, a lovely photo, you, myself, and Budgie, the team. And we've got to get you one of these tops, Steve. They're on order for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're our main man. So there we are. There's the three of us. Well done to Stevie B. Steve, talking about other games quickly over the Champions League. Man City left it late.
They did. I watched a chunk of that as well. They were totally on top. Leipzig sort of equalised against the run of play, and it was just a matter of time when City would wear them down. You know, they're quite a well-oiled machine, and again, when you look at the stats, you know, they could have won by even more. So, look, they're top of that group. They're going to win that group comfortably, probably with a couple of games to spare, I suspect.
And poor old Celtic lost at home.
Yeah, I mean, that's 2 defeats for them. I can't see them finishing anything other than in the bottom 2. If they scrape into 3rd place, they can get themselves into the Europa League, but otherwise they're not going to win that group.
Okay, Steve, let's go on to Premiership fixtures. Very important. I know Gav's got a few teams that he thinks can win, and we'll put up the betting at the moment, and we can run through them with you. And the early kick-off Saturday is Luton Town are hosting Tottenham. Luton come off a 2-1 defeat. Spurs coming off a 2-1 win. They got us at 4-10. What do you think, Gav?
Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, Spurs at the moment, Paul, are playing some terrific soccer. They're really playing at a good tempo. Their game is really up there. Luton Town losing to Burnley at home. It's a game that they have to win to try and keep in touch with the bottom guys at least. They just seem to have broken away now, and they can find it really tough to get out.
What do you think, Stevie? Tottenham going to be hard to beat?
Yeah, I think Tottenham should win that. You know, I'd be very, very surprised if Luton get anything at all. You know, they'll have a real go, Luton. It's a tight ground, small pitch, but you know, Tottenham, their league form has been excellent, and I would be at all surprised if they don't win by a couple of goals comfortably. All
right, then let's look at Chelsea. Are they going to keep the run going? Because if they stumble here, people say, well, the recovery isn't taking place again.
Now, with this team that they have, Paul, what's it, 900 million he spent on this Chelsea team. They've got to find some form sooner or later, and I think they have turned the corner now. I think you'll start seeing a few results coming through. Yeah. And Burnley, look, they had to beat Luton to also stay in touch and get some points on the board, a bit of confidence. But I think Chelsea will win this game quite comfortably.
7-10, Steve?
Yeah, I think Chelsea. I mean, I was there the other night, and we gifted them their 2 goals. The second half, they took the foot off the gas a bit. A better team would have scored against them. I think that they probably have a little bit too much of Burnley, but I think it's going to be close. Yeah. I don't think there's a huge amount of value in that bet, but I think they'll probably just edge that, Chelsea.
Another clash, Stevie, that's looking like it could be desperate. Everton at home to Bournemouth.
Yeah, very much so. Everton, having had a really good away result, then came back down to earth with a bump, losing at home to Luton. And Bournemouth, they just can't seem to get it right. Well beaten at home by Arsenal. I think that this will be a very tight game. I wouldn't be at all surprised if Everton get their first points, though. You know, 4 defeats in a row at home, fairly desperate. But I think this is one they're going to have to target. I could see something like a very dour 1-0.
Okay.
I'll make this the best bet of the weekend, Everton.
You think so?
I think Everton, best bet of the weekend.
Big ring
back in the team. It's a very tough game, but I think at the value at 9-10, I think Everton, I think they're going to show it being at home.
You're going to be in the poorhouse soon. Stevie, would you take 6-10, talking about poorhouse, Fulham?
Well, look, this is must win. I mean, you know, although obviously we lost to Chelsea, in some respect, this is the bigger game, where 7 clear of Sheffield United and already in a win would put us 10 clear. So, you know, I fancy us to win. We've just got to just look at that a little bit more sharp in front of goal. But, you know, it's a big game for, you know, this already is a bit of a 6-pointer, I think, in our minds, and certainly for Sheffield. I'm not sure I'd want to take those odds, but I think that we will edge it, though.
Have you got any injury problems?
Yeah, we've always got 1 or 2. You know, our big problem is that we haven't replaced Mitrovic with a like-for-like, anywhere near like-for-like scorer, and that's our issue. So, you know, Sheffield United have actually got quite a few injuries, so, you know, they are a weaker team of the 2. I fancy us to win.
Yeah, this is my next best bet. I think.
You're striking early.
I'm striking early with the bottom half teams. I think Fulham need to win this game, or they have to win this game. Like Steve said, they've got to try and break away from those teams at the bottom, and this is the opportunity. Sheffield United, I've watched them a couple of weeks. very poor in front of goal, lacking. If they've picked up a lot of injuries, I can see it even being a worse day for them at the office. For them to win this.
If you look at it, you're going to take about 22-10 the double. Would you make the treble? Stay with you, Gav. Would you make the treble Man United?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't take Man United at the moment. I think we're in a bit of trouble, Man United. I think the coach is under a lot of pressure. The players under pressure. I know we have a few injuries, but you've got to stay away from United at the moment.
Hey, Steve, do you concur?
Well, I think this is a huge game for United. I mean, they find themselves in 6 defeats out of 9 League and Cup. They're going to have to bounce back. I think they probably will do it, but it's not looking too good for Ten Hag at the moment. I don't think he's under as much pressure as some of the press might build up, but they're already adrift of the big teams at the top now.
All right, Palace came away with a very good win. They played Notts Forest, who fight for everything. I thought they could draw this game, but Palace seemed to be doing all right. Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I understand that Eze could be out injured, which is a bit of a blow for them. Look, I mean, Palace had got a very good result last week. Really, I think, surprisingly, after the way they were beaten easily in the Cup. But they're hard to beat, and certainly at home. Forest are playing a lot better than they have done away last season. I think that, for me, Palace will start as favourites, but I think I wouldn't be at all surprised if it's a draw.
Okay,
I'm leaning towards the draw in this match as well. I think it's tailor-made for the draw,
Yeah, all three of us going there. Now, this will be an interesting game, but having watched Liverpool close up and knowing that there was their first defeat, they're going to come out fighting against a Brighton team that have hit a few potholes lately, Steve.
Yeah, and look, I mean, Liverpool will probably count themselves very unlucky as to, that VAR decision was appalling. And in fact, interesting listening to Klopp last night saying that the game should be replayed. Well, we know that won't happen because that's obviously a very dangerous precedent. Yeah. But it was a shocking mistake, and it could have changed the course of the game. Brighton, you're not sure what you're going to get with them. On their day, they're superb. They've had a couple of wobbles. They've got a tough game away in Marseille tonight. And I think that might count against them because they haven't got the squad where they can rotate too much. So, and Liverpool are at home with an easier draw. I fancy Liverpool to go and get a result. I just think they're going to be fired up after what happened last weekend. Yeah. And I just think with the way they break quickly, I think they might just have a little bit too much for Brighton.
Steve, I was watching Sky News this morning. It looks like they've really come down hard on the referee England or Mr. England, and he can't do a Liverpool game this year.
Yeah, and he can't. He's not doing anything this weekend. But unfortunately, you're going to end up the way that the amount of mistakes that have been made. You'll end up with no referees available because they seem to be compounding it one week to the next. But this was, probably as bad a mistake as there's been especially when the audio was played back and you heard what happened. I mean, they just completely got it wrong and they got confused. But they should have, when they realised what had happened, they should have stopped the game and said, "We're sorry, we've made a mistake. This is what's happened." But they tried to sort of cover it up, and obviously you can't do that now with everything is being under scrutiny.
Steve, with people having a go at VAR, and obviously the mistakes are there. There are 2 mistakes to 18 good decisions, if I can use an analogy like that. Those who don't believe in VAR, do you want another hand of God seen? Do you remember Maradona?
Of course. No, look, I think the principle of VAR is good, but unfortunately you still have human error and that was evident on Sunday, so on Saturday evening. So, I think they've got to persevere with it, but somehow, they just need to you don't want it to take too much time. Yes. But, in this case, they rushed it and got it wrong. So, look, I think we just have to hope that some of these crazy errors, it does, look, there are swings and roundabouts. Klopp is obviously pretty upset at the moment. Liverpool might get one in their favour next weekend, and it happens. But at the moment, I can understand.
Champions League final. Everybody was up in arms about the penalty they got against Spurs. You want to replay that game as well? It's mad.
Well, exactly. So, that isn't going to happen. I mean, that was as I say, it can't happen because obviously you have a precedent. Then every time there's a mistake, then they want the game replayed. So we know that isn't going to happen. Look, it spoiled the game and the sending offs and everything, and it was a bad day at the office for Liverpool.
You Liverpool?
Yeah, it's such a big game, this Brighton and Liverpool. But just touching on the offside, I think it's all about swings and roundabouts. If we took VAR away, there would be so many goals. Would be
confusion.
We'd go back to goals being scored. Guys would be look at it in the offside, and it just goes on and on. You can't replay the game. It's just one of those things. Game has to move forward.
VAR to me is like you can put 10 people in jail that are guilty. Don't put an innocent man in jail. I'd rather 10 were free. So let's get the good decisions right. Okay, you guys go in Liverpool. West Ham, Stevie, they're back at home, but Newcastle are hot.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough game. Last season, Newcastle ran right there. I think Newcastle could get a result. I mean, they're obviously going to be on the high. West Ham have got a European game, although I think they can rotate a bit. West Ham are having a good season. They've lost a couple of games, but to big teams. Yeah. I think that Newcastle could definitely get something here, though.
Okie dokie. Let's jump on to two teams with great results over the weekend, Wolves and Aston Villa. Gav, what do you think first?
Well, I think Aston Villa are a team that's really playing well. Ollie up front is scoring goals, and they're getting a lot of goals. I mean, to beat Brighton the way they did last week, they just mantled a very good team. Wolves, my boy Pedro Neto, Steve, I said last week, they got to buy this boy. He's terrific player. 2 years ago, and I've been watching him progress. He's getting better and better. He had a couple of injuries.
Great player.
I'm still leaning towards Aston Villa to win the game.
They've also got a player called Kuna. They're playing him because they haven't got a striker, but he's a great player. Steve, how do you see it?
Yeah, I think that. I mean, Wolves, it was a tremendous result last weekend. Very, unexpected to beat City, but it was backs against the wall, and City had one of their off days. Neto is talk about in demand. I think everyone's going to be queuing up in January to try and buy him, whether or not they'll sell him. I think Villa could get a result. I think Villa could go there and get something. They're scoring goals for fun. Ollie Watkins has found his scoring boots. I fancy Villa to go there and get something.
And the big one for last. And Sunday, 5:30 our time, I think it is.
Yeah.
Arsenal host Man City, probably without Saka. Man City without a few players as well. Arsenal haven't lost in the league, if I'm right. Great game. How do you see it, Steve?
Well, last season, City demolished them really, home and away. I can see City going there and getting a result, and just Pep making a statement to say don't write us off too early. So I just got a feeling that they, especially if they lose Saka, I mean, and Martinelli's injured, that's a big loss for Arsenal. I just think City, they up their game when they need to, and I think this is the sort of game. It's a big pitch. Arsenal like to play expansive football as well, and I think that will leave gaps for City to catch them.
Okay, I think Arteta's going to set out his stall not to lose this game. At home, I think he'll set it out and try and stifle City, try and stop them from having the ball for long periods of the game. I don't think he's going to be too adventurous, thinking that he's going to get caught on the counter. I think this game's got to draw written all over.
It'll be a good game.
It should be a good game. If they both play their open game, it'll be a very good game. But I just think Arteta will close shop.
Man City no other way. Stevie, just talking about, are you still in last man standing or last one standing?
Well, surprisingly, yes. Let's see what happens this weekend. As Gavin said, it's certainly getting tougher now.
Yeah, I just wanted to remind you of what I've just been through with you and Gavin. And basically, you and slightly to a lesser degree, Gavin, have tipped 6 away sides to win. I'll just recap. Tottenham, Chelsea, Liverpool, Newcastle, Aston Villa, and Man City. Steve, you've tipped 6. That's unusual.
Yeah, I mean, but again, I guess the way this season, the teams at the top are playing well, and the teams at the bottom, like the Sheffield United and Lutons, have been cannon fodder to a certain extent. But I think that, as you say, I've used most of the big teams. It gets trickier now.
Lovely. Okay, let's go Championship. We've got the Championship betting. We start Friday night with the Championship, 9 o'clock. And we've got Birmingham hosting West Brom on a high. Very similar betting odds.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Birmingham derby, both doing quite well. I fancy Birmingham. They're just having a bit of a run, obviously with the sort of injection of a little bit of cash and new owners. West Brom had a good result during the week, but I fancy Birmingham just to edge that.
Okey-doke, 16-10 for you. Sunderland till I die host Middlesbrough. Similar odds.
Yeah, again, another derby. Look, Sunderland are playing some lovely football. Had a good win last night. Middlesbrough have picked up. They've had a couple of wins now, or 3 wins in 4. And so I think it's going to be a close game, but the Sunderland will start as favourites to me.
This is a massive derby, Sunderland-Middlesbrough, up north.
Yeah.
Massive. 24-10 the draw. Okay. Your brother's team, Watford, go to Cardiff. Again, similar odds. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, they're not having a good time of it, beating again Watford. Cardiff having a bit of a run, strong at home. I fancy them to win that.
Okay, what do you think?
This is one of the best leagues for value on betting teams, but the hardest to get it right.
This is a
it looks so appetizing. I normally just go for the home team if it's very quite close on the betting.
So you're going for the Welsh team?
I'm going for the boys from Wales.
All right. Stevie, Coventry, again, very similar betting as they host Norwich. I think 15-10 and 18-10.
Yeah, I mean, it will be a close game. I mean, Coventry scraped through the other night. Norwich having a hard time of it, sort of relatively. I think Coventry might just. I think for me, it's a draw, or maybe Coventry might just hedge it.
Okay. Now, Budge will probably be at the Preston game, but or they're going to Ipswich. It's not the longest of trips, but maybe But can Budge, the Budge team got a thumping there. Bear in mind they used to lead.
They did, yeah. They've lost a couple now. They played teams at the top around them and lost, and I think they'll lose another one this weekend.
Leicester gave them a good harding last night.
Leicester gave them a good harding. Yeah. Budge, if you're listening, Stephen Gav say thumbs down.
Come back home.
Come back home, thumbs down. Don't go at the game. All right, Leeds United, Bristol City, Steve.
Yeah, Leeds have just started to turn the corner, had another good win, and they're finding themselves round about the playoff positions, having sort of not won in the first few games. So I think Leeds would be too strong and win that.
Okie dokie. And then Leicester, they're top of the log, aren't they?
Yeah, Leicester are top.
Stoke City, can Leicester beat Stoke City at home? They should.
I think they will. Yeah, I think they should. They had a good win last night, Leicester. I think they'll be too strong. Stoke are very up and down. So
Leicester turning on the pressure and using the experience from the Premiership.
Yeah, they are.
And some of those players, and they're putting some of these other teams to the slow down.
Another one of your good bets.
Good bets.
Okay, Millwall, Hull City. Again, they've got Millwall top of the boards. Hull City 22-10. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I think Millwall have just started to put a couple of results together. Hull are good, but at home they haven't done much away. I think Millwall will be a tight game, but I think Millwall will just be too strong. Okay,
we're going with you. The Argyle host the other team from Wales, Swansea. Very similar betting. Plymouth Argyle at home. I watched them play, Steve, on TV a couple of times. They're not the worst side in the world, Plymouth.
No, they hit Norwich for 6 recently. Swansea have just picked up a little bit of form, got a late result last night. I think this will be a tight game. Swansea like to play a bit of football, but I think Plymouth might be too strong at home. Okie dokie.
Queen's Park Rangers, that's for Tweels Horsman. He gives us the feedback of all the games. He goes to them all. Blackburn. Now, what's the latest with Blackburn, Steve?
Yeah, they're up and down. They came unstuck again. They're losing to the big teams. So, but this is the sort of game that they could get a result. QPR have been fairly ineffective recently, lost their last home game, struggled away again. I fancy Blackburn maybe to get something there. Okay, you're going 14-10 Blackburn. Yeah. And then Sheffield Wednesday, Huddersfield. Again, very even betting. Yeah, well, it's a derby. Sheffield Wednesday sacked their manager yesterday. They haven't won all season. Rock bottom. Huddersfield, not setting the world alight, but I think it's going to be interesting because Sheffield Wednesday sacked their manager in the summer, Darren Moore, even though he promoted them. Darren Moore is now at Huddersfield. So I think he's going to be determined to go there and get something, and I think they might do. I hope Darren Moore produces the goods. You can't save a team and then get turfed, I believe. Okay, 4-10 Southampton. They want to get back in the scrum. Rotherham? Yeah, they should win that comfortably. I mean, they had a good result, a couple of good results, Southampton, after losing a few. Rotherham away from home are very poor. and I fancy Southampton to win that comfortably.
All right, Stevie B. Stevie, I haven't put down a piece of paper where I put your best bets on, but there's a nice photo of us in the lounge or the kitchen.
Stevie, your best bet for the week?
Your best bet, please, Steve.
Yeah, I'm going to go just something different. I'm going to go for Cardiff. I think at home they're quite strong, and I fancy them. And my value bet, I'm going to go for Aston Villa. I think that they're playing some lovely football, and I think that they will score goals and win at Wolves.
Gav, have you got a best bet for you?
Yeah, my best bets would be Leicester, Everton, and I'm going with Fulham.
Hey, Fulham, eh? Value at 6 to 10. Stevie, as always, thanks ever so much.
Lovely. Pleasure. Talk to you again. Bye,
Speak
guys.
to you soon.
Bye, Gav.
Bye-bye. All right, we're going on the MTN now. Local football, it's cup final odds. It's big game, Gav. You've got two major teams, Orlando Pirates versus Sundown.
Yeah, they don't get much bigger than this, Paul.
Saturday, 6 o'clock. Sundowns always seem to come away with the goods. They really are a good team.
Yeah, they are. They're the team that passes the ball around the most, keeps possession, pulls you out of position. 100%, 100%. Oh, you could be saying that of Africa. They really are doing that well. Just love watching them play. The rest of the teams in the league, not so great in keeping the ball. They keep the ball well for long periods in the game. Fantastic atmosphere in this game is going to be.
It'll be amazing crowd. It'll be full house. I think 13 to 10 Sundowns for 90 minutes is a good bet.
They're 8 out of 8 in the league, Paul, and steamrolling everybody.
They had
one hiccup in the rain in Cape Town, and then turned it on at the end, 1-3-1.
They don't take the 13 to 10. There's my bet for you guys. Gav's given you a few winners earlier. Take the 13 to 10 Sundowns. They just don't lose. The Brazilians are too good. Now we come to that part of the show where Budgie gives us his best bets. He's been on cracking form. Gav, we'll run through them. Oh, sorry, these are not Budgie, but these are the soccer six. Okay, he's gone Chelsea to win and draw.
Everton Bournemouth 1, 2 and 3.
Fulham, he's gone with you to beat Sheffield. Man United, Brentford, he's lucky he's nervous.
He's
nervous of your boys. You're both Man United boys. Orlando, he's gone with my selection, Mamelodi Sundowns. Palace 1-2, so if Forest wins, that's good. 2-1-6, I like that bet. Right, the next one, Spurs win, I like that. Burnley Chelsea, he's stuck with 2 and 3. Everton Bournemouth 1-2-3, playing safe, your good thing. Fulham, your good thing he's gone for against Sheffield United. 1-2-3, he's playing safe again. Palace Forest 1 and 2, so 2-1-6. Which one's this now? Is this the 10? Here's the 10, okay? Tottenham, we know. Sunderland, Middlesbrough, up north, Derby. He's gone for Sunderland. That's interesting. But he's gone Chelsea to at least come away with a draw. Everton, at least a draw. And Fulham to win. The next page. Man United 1-2-3. Coventry, Norwich 1-2-3. Leeds to win at home. Leicester to win at home. Another one of your good bets. And Palace to shade, Forest to draw at worst. 288. The 13, Forest to get beaten by Crystal Palace. He's gone strong on that. Chelsea to beat Burnley. Man United, listen, he's starting to show a bit of weakness. He's showing a bit of weakness. 1 and 2. Everton, boy, he's with you with Everton, Fulham and Cardiff. Coventry, Norwich 2 and 3. So he's gone Norwich, eh? Then the next page. Yeah, he doesn't see his team winning.
Like his team.
He doesn't like his team. He's got Ipswich 1 or 2. Leeds United to win at home. Millwall not to get beat. Plymouth Argyle, best they can get is a draw with him because he's gone Swansea win and draw. QPR Blackburn, he's with Steve on Blackburn Rovers 2 and 3. Sheffield Wednesday Huddersfield, he's again with Steve 2 and 3. Darren Moore to win it 256. Right, here we go. The part that I like now. If you see one of them when I read them out that you don't like, tell me, because every now and then I say, gee, you're going for them. But he's very good. This is Tottenham to win 2-0. So if people watching, it's got to be 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, whatever. Cannot get a goal for Luton. Liverpool to win. Okay, they're away at Brighton. Then over 2.5 goals and both teams to score. So that Wolves, Aston Villa have to, one of them's got to get at least 2. Another one's got to get 1. That's a nice bet, 2,200 to 200. I think he's got a chance there.
100%.
Then goals only, Tottenham, Chelsea, Liverpool, West Ham, Arsenal, all to score 2. So that's interesting. Tottenham I can see doing it. Chelsea, they have got the ability to. Liverpool got the ability to. West Ham have got a good team coming into them. You know that is. That's the mighty Newcastle.
That
could be a stutter. And Arsenal, 2 goals against Man City. Not many teams do that. 4,800. That's your first weakness, Budge. Yeah. Here we go. Gavin and I agree here. Championship double. Leeds United to win and both teams to score. Leicester City to win and both teams to score.
I think I'll have some of that bet. I think that looks like a nice bet.
Okay, you like that, eh? Both teams to score. So these games here, Birmingham and West Brom, both to score. Sunderland, Middlesbrough, both to score. Leeds, Bristol, QPR, Blackburn, and then the last one, Huddersfield, Sheffield Wednesday.
That could be the stumble with Sheffield Wednesday. They haven't won a game yet this year.
Yeah, they don't score. 3,100 to 200. And the last 2, the Spanish omelette, Atletico Madrid, who won during the week, and Real Betis to win, both teams to score. Sevilla, Rayo, Vallecano, Celta Vigo, Getafe. 4,100 to 200. Now he's Collis King, 6 on Ixa. Spurs, Liverpool, Leeds, Leicester, Harry Kane, and Atletico Madrid. 3,500. I like that bet.
Yeah, it's a good bet. That's a very good bet.
Got some, Budge had a big bet going. Chelsea, Fulham to get a goal. Guy missed from here to there. He hit the keeper when they were 2-0 down. So Budge finds them. Well, that's it. Gav, wonderful sitting in with you.
Paul. Nice
Absolutely great fun. And Budge will probably be back next week if he hasn't got a game
between the legs.
Yeah, no, he might get a game for Man United, the way they're playing. But that's it for this week. Until next time, stay on side.